Hey, what's up guys? It's rishioptcg here, and we're back with another video, and today in this video we're going to be going over my updated Rob Lucci list after I went 5-0 with it last night at Card Haven, Louisville. Um, with that being said, I think this is like the best list I've created so far. So, not only am I going to like just show you all the lists, I'm going to go over it in kind of parts that I break the list down into. Explain it, explain why I think it's good, what matchups I can remember it's good in, just kind of like the whole fucking breakdown. Uh, it's gonna be a little bit of a longer video than a normal deck profile, but I put a lot of thought into this deck. This wasn't just a list that um got copied or whatever. So let's check it out. And yeah, I've been grinding on rank sim, and this is what I came up with. And shout out to like Holden Miller for answering like a couple of my questions, because those like answers kind of really helped me go in the right direction too. But let's start off with the just the core cards. Um, First of all, if we're going down back to two of each of these. Yeah, three is great, but it's, as you can see, like we have some tech cards there. Three is great, but you really can't get away with playing three just cause of, like the need for tech cards for BY. So I decided to just go down to two. It seemed like the only thing I could cut in terms of a flex spot. As we all know, Lucci's a really tight list, so it's really hard to like make space for stuff. But we decided to go down to two of each. I was at one point playing three, and three was really cool, but it was just too consistent. And like honestly, I'm down to lose a couple times just to have all those options to win way more. And this is just like kind of it doesn't really help you like to go up a copy, in my opinion. I mean, you can. It's up to preference. That's the number one thing with Lucci. It's up to preference. But I can tell you that I can try to sell you on my preference for the deck. So next we're gonna bump Sabo down to 3, which is a little scary. It's actually one of the spots I couldn't I would like it to be at 4, but like I really need this space, and I'll show you why in a second. But Sabo at 3, so it's not at 4 anymore, but we still got the 4 Rebecca's, so we're able to, these are basically able to be like an extra copy of the Sabo. So for those games where we do need to extend the game, we do have the Sabo, and I mean, like we still got 3 copies, so we'll probably see maybe 1. Then after that, like, okay, we got the Tempest kicks. So the Tempest kicks, and then the Ice Age is just like standard stuff. I couldn't cut these. I never, like, some people like to go down to 3 Ice Age. I don't think that's good. I think Ice Age is so crucial into getting your combo. It's a ridiculous card. It's one of the most broken cards in Black. You gotta run it at 4 copies if you're gonna play it. Same thing with Tempest Kick. Obviously, can't cut those cards. Okay, again, some we got 4 Lucci's. Not even gonna talk about that. Okay, but this is we'll talk about. So we're playing 4 Kuzons. So Kuzon is a card that some people run at 2 or 3, but I feel like it's always, for me at least, you either run 0 or you run 4, right? Because if you're if you're gonna play Kuzon, there are matchups where it's like Kuzon's hella good in, like Bonnie or the Mirror or into Black Luffy. That's like 3 matchups already. Those are 3 prevalent decks. Reiju, Dofi, NL, all those matchups you want Kuzon in your hand. If you're going second, you want to mulligan for Kuzon, and the only way you're gonna mulligan for Kuzon is if there's 4 copies. So it's just, because the difference between 4 and 3 is pretty big. in percentage. So you need to run 4 of this card. This card's so important. This card's won me so many games. It's made my hand size ridiculous. I think this card is never gonna be cut for a little bit, at least in this format. So we're gonna keep that at 4. So yeah. Okay, so that's like one of the spaces I made for. I again like the 4 who's who's. I mean, honestly, these are just 2Ks. This could be like a 0 cost or another 2K or a Hattori. I don't even think the Kaku's ever come up, so I might be testing something else in that spot. But I mean, you need the 8 2Ks, but it's definitely 4 who's who and 4 3 Khalifa and then like a flex spot. I mean, that's just what feels good. And then, okay, so we're playing 3 Spandam. Spandam's a great card, but I mean, I have to make space for the text and not cutting from basically the core right here. I don't want to cut from here, so had to make space with Spandam. And honestly, right now I'm testing a build on Sim with even 2, but we'll see how that goes. You know, I'm winning so far, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so in terms of new cards we're playing, well, before we talk about the new cards, yeah, we always have 4 geckos. Y'all can just look at the alts. I actually don't think this video is gonna be super long, maybe like 10. I'm gonna ramble a bit, so but I'm telling you all this information will probably help you. I went 5-0 with this list. And it felt like just stomping. I was climbing on ranked sim. Okay, so now we'll talk about. Okay, so I decided to go with 4 jacks. Same thing. If you're going first into like Black Luffy, and now Reiju, the Mirror. You want to see Jack most games when you're going first, like most of all games, and build mulligan for Jack, and the consistency of having Jack. I like to run him at 4 because I can mulligan for him, and then I have that play. And Jack is just, I mean, this card is just ridiculous. This card is one of my favorite black cards ever because, I mean, it's just stupid. But you gotta run it at 4. I think it's a must at 4. I don't think I could run it at 3, and that's my reasoning, and it's been working for me. Okay, so there's a Japanese Brook for some reason here, but we're gonna fix that before we go to locals. And I got 2 Monkey D. Luffy's Nightmare. We're gonna talk about this card, and we're gonna talk about Brook. Okay, now Brook is super important because when I was climbing rank sim and I was struggling like to get to like top, I think 500, 400, back when I was like 1500 or 1200. Actually, I wasn't even 1500. I was 1200, not playing that much. But when I was climbing, I kept losing to Lucci, like the Mirror, because it would Brook me. And Brook is also an answer to in BY matchup. They play 5 cost Sabo, you Brook it, or not necessarily. You don't have to, but you can Brook the Luffy, right? The beater Luffy. So Brook is and then on top of that, Nami's a pain in the ass, right? Brook actually helps with that matchup. Like the bottoming 3 effect from Brook right here. It's like super good. It's super good because like it's just one of the best effects in that matchup too. I mean, like you can argue that Isho's also good, but I mean Brook has so many uses. I don't see why I wasn't playing this card. I would even maybe consider bumping it to 3. Testing it, I don't know if it's gonna be insane or not. But Brook, we'll talk about a couple situations real quick. Okay, so let's assume that Uh, let's talk about the one really, really crazy situation, which is the mirror. So, if I got out a Kuzon, and they played Sabo, or let's just say I didn't get a Kuzon, I got a Lucci out. Okay, so talk about Brook. This is my hand. We'll just say that's randomly life, okay? But that's not life, obviously. But forget about that. So this is how it's gonna work. So, like, this is why I think Brook is so strong, and because let's just say they did whatever. That this is their first play because it's 5 dawn. That's probably when Lucci starts playing stuff, and we just played this. It's just and let's for example look at their life, because they would have probably taken 1 life by now, and they're at 4 life. Okay, so we see that, and then fuck, this is my leader. This is a horrible little situation here, but if you can kind of walk with me here and look, like, this is my leader. If I'm on 6 dawn now, he plays Sabo, right? He's at 4 life. He's gonna go. I'll go 5 at him, like mill 2. Okay, like whatever. Those are obviously, it's organized right now, so I'm gonna mill whatever, but it's gonna -1 there. And then I'm sure you've all done this, but I'm gonna show you how like crazy this, because okay, so 6, and then okay, I mean they block the first one, they take, and then this goes in the trash, right? Now they don't have a board, and you swing 6. All right, so now they're on 7 dawn, and the best ideal play we talked about it is Jack, right? So they play Jack, they swing 5 at you, you go down to 3 life, right? Okay. And then yeah, they'll KO the Lucci. All right, cool. All right, now let's just say we got a Gecko, and then we play our so Gecko, Kuzon, and span them, because I mean this is a kind of bad situation because we don't have Kuzon early, but we're playing it now, so we draw 1, and then we get another 1, but then I'll be able to go 5, 6 again. So like, the 6 body, the 5 they take count, and then they have to counter, right? Like whatever. Let's just say that's a 2K. But it's this tempo play. This Brook, they can't get rid of it, because what are they gonna do next turn? They're gonna swing this, KO this, and if they can with a Gecko, KO that. Brook's still here, right? I mean, this situation, it's gonna be pretty bad if they Gecko us, but you get what I'm saying. So like, Brook is super important. Fuck. Okay, now we gotta talk about Nightmare Luffy. It's really gonna be hard for me to describe a situation with it, but essentially, if you play these 2 cards into black, yellow Luffy, you essentially you gain a life, right? Obviously, and gain an indestructible blocker. So this is basically a life, since you can't KO it. And then you play this guy. This guy swings for a shit ton. If you have a big ton, so this is like your Hail Mary play at the end. At the kind of want to set it up like the turn before you're gonna go for game. And I'm telling you, how many games this will win you is crazy, because you can bottom like a shit ton out of your trash, swing like 16 at them, and then trash one of their Sabos. So like, I mean, like obviously you gotta do the math the turn before, but this card is ridiculous because it just keeps it can trash Sabos, and you can play this card and a Sabo on turn. I think it's better than Moria in certain cases in this matchup, like, because of like at the end it's better than playing a Moria, because a Moria can just give you a Rebecca, when a Rebecca can just get popped, right? But here we're like, and Rebecca Sabo, what does Rebecca Sabo do? Rebecca Sabo gives us another blocker if we're gonna die, but if we're not gonna die, Rebecca Sabo, it does nothing, because we don't gain any advantage. Obviously we could just play Sabo and swing, but we can put this threat there and say basically, hey, you're fucked. If you don't play double Sabo here and guard the fuck up, you're fucked. So you can't really. It's a really good play, and it has Wami games. And I think the hardest matchup for Lucci really is BY. I think every other matchup's free, to be honest. I do think that techs are up to other people. Like, for example, if you didn't really like Nightmare Luffy, you could probably play Isho, but I think Nightmare Luffy is just a little bit more consistent, and it's not a brick. It's just shit like that. But that's my list breakdown. If you want to see like the full list, like laid out and everything, you can check my Twitter. It's in the description below. And also, there were some questions about these mats. These play mats are sold on my website down below, and you can purchase them there, and I can get them shipped out to you whenever. We got the Perona one and some other ones you've probably seen in other videos, and so you can feel free to check them out and purchase them if you'd like. And for more like updated stuff, like if you want to follow me at locals and stuff like that, and like ask me questions and stuff, I'd recommend like DMing me on Twitter. I take a little bit to respond to YouTube comments, and it's not because I hate y'all, it's because I'm really busy with school and like work at the same time. But I love making YouTube videos, just like really fun side hobby. So I'm gonna like pump some more videos out this week. Probably relating to Lucci again. Like, I am gonna pump another gameplay video out from Rank Sim with this deck, and I do want to learn some other decks. I also want to go over Blue Doflamingo and the deck profile that I got so far, because I'm building that deck, and I think that deck's really fun actually. With the starter decks, I don't think it's fun right now, but that's something I'm gonna be going over. And I also think Purple Luffy's kind of fun. But I do think Blue Luffy's really like an actual contender for a deck that will be really strong compared to Purple Luffy. Just because Purple Luffy still feels like kind of like a pile of cards, because you only really have one searcher. So that's that. Anywho, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. I do want to I'm thinking about making a Patreon where I can make more complex guides. Let me know what y'all think about that. It would be like $5 a month, like type shit. Like, you would get like a good amount of like content weekly, and yeah, it would be kind of cool. And I'd have not just me working on it, but other people as well that are top players. So let me know what y'all think. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks, guys. Peace.